Looking for supplies?
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Commander, Ms. Al-Jalani's story on you just aired. She shouldn't have ambushed you like that, but you handled it pretty well.
To be honest, I thought she was full of crap.
But you were smart enough not to say that. You've got a knack for handling the press. Just wanted to let you know what the response was back home. I won't keep you any longer. Fifth Fleet out.
Commander, we've got a priority signal from 5th Fleet headquarters. Patching it through?
Commander, there's a situation in the Exodus cluster. Terrorists seized an asteroid being moved into orbit around Terra Nova. They're gonna bring it down. We only have an hour before the rock hits the red line.
Why was the asteroid being moved?
I think they're gonna tether it to an orbital elevator. I didn't ask. All that's important to us is that a big rock is gonna hit dirt in 60.
If you're calling us, there must be more to it than that.
There was an engineering crew of 100 aboard the rock. They were monitoring stability during transit. As far as we know, they're still aboard.
Are we sure the engineers are alive?
The terrorists claim they're still alive. We're holding fire until we can extract them or confirm they're dead.
Is there an extraction op planned?
You're our best bet, Commander. I'll send in the Marines from the Harari if I have to, but they're mostly greenhorns. Your best option is to gain control of the engines. The engineers installed 3 fusion torches to propel it from the asteroid belt into orbit. If you can get control of them in the next hour, you can change the asteroid's vector, steer it into a stable orbit around the planet. If that's impossible, see if you can get the engineers out. We'll blast the rock into rubble. If all else fails, we'll have to sacrifice the hostages.
We'll make it right, Admiral.
Thank you, Commander. We'll transmit the asteroid's location and vector to your navigator. 5th Fleet out.
45 minutes. Make them count.
Batarians.
Harak! Check! Check! Release the Baron!
Form up!
We've got control of Thruster Alpha.
I'm reading that the torch is offline. Was that you? Can you hear me?
Who are you? What's going on?
My name's Kate Bowman. I'm an engineer. I was part of the team assigned to bring this asteroid to Terra Nova.
We were attacked yesterday by Batarian extremists. I've been hiding since they arrived. I think they know the torch went out.
Why are they doing this?
I don't know, but if this asteroid isn't slowed, millions of people on Terra Nova are going to die.
If I find out anything,
I've gotta go. Good luck.
Hey.
Oh God. I didn't mean to... Are you hurt?
Takes more than that one shot to bring me down.
Sorry. I didn't even realize you were human until... Well... Guess I'm not much of a soldier.
Leave the fighting to me from now on. Commander Shepard, Systems Alliance.
Simon Atwell. I'm the chief engineer on this rock. Listen, we don't have much time. The Batarians fired up the fusion torches. You've got to shut them down before we hit Terra Nova. There are 4 million people down there, Shepard. My family. They live in Aronis. My kids and grandkids. Nice communities, good schools.
I don't have time to do the math in my head. What happens if we don't stop this rock?
X57 is 22 kilometers long, twice the size of the asteroid that wiped out the Earth's dinosaurs. It would be like millions of fusion bombs striking at once. Millions. The heat of the blast. 1,000 kilometers away, clothes will ignite. There'll be global wildfires. Air shock will flatten everything for hundreds of kilometers. Terra Nova will die, Shepard. Not just our colony, the planet. There'll be a climate shift, mass extinctions. The ecosystem won't recover for thousands of years. Millions, maybe.
Is there any chance it'll land in the oceans?
That would be even worse. Tsunamis would sweep inland at hundreds of kilometers per hour. Millions of tons of water would be vaporized at the point of impact. Global cloud coverage. The plants could all die, and if they go, the whole ecosystem rolls over. I'd have to run the numbers, but take my word for it, it'd be bad.
This doesn't make any sense. Batarians run criminal gangs. Unethical, but profitable. They don't destroy worlds. What does this gain them?
I've heard all the stories. Slave rings ranching people like animals. Pirate bands burning colonies to the ground. But this is... The Citadel conventions forbid asteroid drops. I never thought the Batarians would go this far.
The conventions only apply to council-aligned races. The Batarian government is a rogue state.
The Batarians aren't stupid. If they made a policy of this, the council will declare war on them. My opinion? These guys aren't backed by their government. They've got to be working on their own.
If the Batarians can't keep their own crazies in line, we'll do it for them.
I just don't want the Terra Firma Party using a threat to my home as an excuse to invade somebody else's.
You were on the ground when this happened. How many Batarians have you seen? And where?
They landed at the main facility. It's locked down now. They've changed the passcodes. No idea what's going on inside. I did see groups head out to each of the torch stations. Couldn't say how many, though. Enough to give you a fight.
Any idea who's behind this? Who's leading them? That might provide a clue.
I heard a couple of them talking. They mentioned a Balak. It sounded like he's the one in charge. They didn't seem convinced this was a good idea, but they were scared of the guy. Scared enough to do what he wanted.
Batarians everywhere, and I need to shut down all 3 torches. Anything else I should know?
One of the torches is surrounded by live blasting caps. We were set up to excavate when we arrived at Terra Nova. I rigged them with proximity detectors. That tank of yours will set them off, so you'll have to go in on foot. Even then, they'll explode if you get too close. Just go slow and easy. You should be fine.
You set them up. Can you disable them?
Not from here. No. There are manual controls by the entrance to the torch facility inside the blast zone. You can disarm the caps there. One last thing. I had a crew working off-site when the attack hit. I'm worried about them. These Batarians are ruthless. I saw them smash the faceplates of guys working vacuum. And those Varen, I don't think they always wait for a corpse before feeding.
Any idea where I can find them?
They were running checks on our perimeter equipment. Easiest thing would be to tap into the transmission tower out on the surface. The equipment stations will show up on your sensors.
I'll look for them, but the torches have to be my priority.
Yeah, you're right. Saving Terra Nova is more important than my team. There were a bunch of engineers over at the main facility, but they're probably all dead. That or being held hostage by the Batarians.
A woman named Kate Bowman contacted me. The Batarians haven't found her yet.
Katie's alive. She's one of my best engineers. She signed on with her brother, Aaron, I think his name is. He's part of the security detail. I hope they're okay.
What can you tell me about Kate?
Smart as a whip and bold as they come. I hope she keeps hidden. If they find her... Oh, Katie, don't do anything stupid.
Give me a worst-case scenario. We can't stop the asteroid. Could the colony be evacuated?
Shepard, it took 30 years for the population to grow that large. I'm sure they're moving people to remote areas, but they'd never be able to get more than a few thousand off-world. We just don't have enough ships. No one does. Well, maybe the Quarians, but I don't see them suddenly showing up and offering us a ride.
Why were you moving this thing in the first place?
Well, the idea was to drag it into Terra Nova's orbit, mine it out, and in the end you'd have a basic structure for an orbital station. It's a lot cheaper than getting everything up into orbit from the planet's surface. The minerals we extract almost cover the costs.
Time's running short. I'm gonna go punch this mountain into space.
I think I'll make myself scarce in case any Batarians come back. Good luck, Shepard.
fix it. Meantime, just keep doing...
Negative contacts, Commander. wants them all dead! Send the drones in!
We've got control of thruster beta.
Are you there? You've got to hurry. You've really pissed them off. Their leader's setting charges everywhere. I think he's going to blow this whole facility.
Get away from there!
Don't shoot, please! No!
Who's shutting down the torches? I won't ask you again. Find this problem and deal with it. Get her out of here!
We've got control of thruster gamma.
That's all of them. We're in control now.
Hold it right there. This doesn't have to end in bloodshed. Don't come any closer. We can do this the hard way, or we can end this peacefully.
I've got nothing to say to a Batarian terrorist.
Look, I'm just doing my job here. Hijacking this rock wasn't my idea. I signed on to make a little profit. A quick slave grab, nothing more.
This isn't just a slave grab anymore. Millions of people are gonna die.
Don't you think I know that? I'm just following orders here. If it were up to me, we'd have already left.
Well, it's not too late. You can still leave.
I don't think so. Bollock would skin me alive and sell my hide out of spite. Crazy bastard. This whole mission's gone to hell and I'm gonna pay for it.
You keep listening to this Bollock and you'll end up dead.
Maybe. I had a bad feeling about this from the moment we landed. Now Bollock wants you dead. And what Bollock wants, Bollock gets. I can't change that.
But I can.
Damn it. Get him! No one leaves!
contacts, Commander. 。 . 。 . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . .
「
.
times. They found me, damn Batarians. I can hear them out there prowling around, trying to find a way in. It sounds like they're attaching something to the door. If I don't make it, tell my family I love them.
Warning. Approaching operational boundary limits. Recording.
contact!
Warning. Approaching operational boundaries. Recall. Warning. Approaching operational boundaries. Recall.
humans. You're almost more trouble than you're worth.
Let the hostages go, and maybe you'll live long enough to explain yourself to the Council.
I don't answer to the Council. Or to you. I'm leaving this asteroid. If you try to stop me, I'll detonate these charges, and your helper and her friends are all going to die.
I can't just let you go, Balak. Not after what happened here.
This is nothing. You humans have done far worse to the Batarians. We've been forced into exile, forced to survive on what we can scrounge up. It's been like that for decades.
Why take it out on these people? They didn't do anything to you or the Batarians.
Didn't do anything. Aside from colonizing a world that could have been ours. Aside from using resources that should have been ours. We were left to defend ourselves. But the humans were stronger than us. We knew that. The Council knew that. But it didn't matter. It was you. You and your kind are the only reason we're in this position.
How does killing innocent people make up for that?
We had no other options. Sometimes you need to get someone's attention before they'll listen.
Is that what Elysium was? A way to get our attention? Well, you got it. And when we responded, you ran like cowards. Now you want to start it all over again.
Enough! You couldn't possibly understand. Actually, you just don't want to understand, and I'm done wasting my breath. Now, if you want your friends to live, I suggest you step aside.
I'm not letting a terrorist like you go free. Do what you want with the others, but it'll be the last thing you do.
I hope this is worth it! I'm gonna enjoy gutting you.
Form up! To me! To me! On me! Rally round!
humans think you're so superior. But you're no better than us. I gave you a chance to save them and you threw it away! Who's the real terrorist here?
You and I are nothing alike. You killed those people. You pushed the button. And now you'll pay for it.
Go ahead, kill me. I'm not afraid to die. But know this. One day soon, the human race is gonna pay for what it's done.
Do you really think the result would be any different this time? An attack against us would be suicide.
No, not this time. We've learned from our mistakes. We'll be ready. There are thousands more like me waiting their turn, each one willing to die for our cause.
And they chose you for this mission? Then I guess we have nothing to worry about.
Believe what you want. When the vids flash with images of your colonies in flames, you'll know the Batarian rebellion has begun.
Who's your leader? Who's orchestrating all this?
I'm through talking. Just kill me. Get it over with.
You're not going to die. We'll drop you off on Terra Nova and let Alliance officials deal with you. I doubt they'll be too friendly.
This isn't over! This is just the beginning for the Batarian nation!
Is it safe?
That was the last of them. Can you tell if the asteroid's stable?
You did it. Another hour and our course would have been irreversible. I ran the numbers, Shepard. X57 would have struck near the capital city, the most densely populated region. But that's not going to happen, thanks to you. Have you found Katie and her team?
Balak murdered Katie and the others. Blew them up with a bomb.
All of them? Katie? And her brother, everyone? How could this happen? I thought you were... Couldn't you save them?
You need to understand something. Not everyone out here in the big bad galaxy likes humans. It's not safe. Some days the bad guys are gonna win. You ask me, the good guys made out pretty well today.
So this son of a bitch, this Balak, they're gonna lock him up, right? Not in some cushy cell with extranet access, but someplace hard. Mean.
Someplace where it hurts just to breathe.
I can live with that. Shepard, thank you for my grandchildren's lives. I don't think I'll stick around, though. Not with the team gone. Too many ghosts. It's time for me to get back and spend some time with my family. Before I go, I'd like to offer you something. Maybe you'll have more use for it than I will. As lead engineer, I get some quality items. Take your pick. You've earned it.
I know it's a lot to ask, but that Omni tool of yours? I could really use something like that.
Shepard, I think I mentioned that you saved my kids and grandkids. What's an Omni tool compared to that? Take it, with my blessing. I hope you get good use out of it.
One more thing. You asked me to look into your missing engineers?
Have you found them?
Yes, all of them. Their bodies, anyway.
Oh. I see. Well then, I guess it's better than not knowing.
Take care of yourself.
Be well, Shepard. We owe you. My home's safe. Just have to focus on that, right?